So hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we will see what is the today's LeetCode problem, that is a maximum value of an order triplet 1. So what is the problem given us? We are given a zero index integer array nums and we have to return a maximum value over all the triplets of indices I, j and k such that I is less than j and j is less than k. If all such triplet have negative value, then return a 0. So we don't have to return a negative value in any case. The value of triplet of an index ijk is equal to num of I minus num of j into num of k. Suppose I have the array like this, where I have 1, 2, 3, correct? So if I am here, that is if this is a j, then I have to just say num of I, that can be this one. So that is 1 minus 2 into 3, because this should be lower than this one according to the index only, lower index, and this should have the higher index, and this is what we will return. And of course this is going to be the negative value only, because 1 minus 2, that is minus 1 into 3, that is minus 3, which in this case we will return a 0. This is what they have said, correct? So let's understand this problem with the help of the test case only. But before jumping to the solution, let's see the constraint they have given. They have given that length of the array is 100 only. It means that we can have n cube solution in this case. For I, run a loop. For j, run an inner loop. And for k, run innermost loop. And of course with this also you can solve this problem with the big of n cube solution, and which will be accepted for sure. And of course they have given the minimum length as 3, so we don't have to check whether the length is less than 2 or 1, or sorry, less than 3, because we need at most 3 elements, so that's fine. But we will not be looking at a n cube solution, because which is very brute force solution or not an optimal solution. In this video we will see the optimal solution for this problem, that would be the big of n only, right? So let's understand this problem with the simple test case. So this was the given array. For example, I am here, okay, let me give the indexing to this array 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, correct? If I am at the index 1, that is if suppose I am here, what things do I need? Considering I am running the j loop over here, so I am running j over here, so I know I have the num of j, correct? What do I need extra things? I need num of I, from which I will subtract num of j, and I need num of k, correct? One thing for sure, this value should be the maximum, correct? So if I am considering this, which is num of j, I have to return a maximum value. So my approach will be find this value as maximum as possible, as max as possible. Makes sense? Because anything multiplied by max will ultimately give me max value only, and I know for sure I want this difference to be the max. It means that I need this value also as max as possible, correct? It means that for every index I need num of I to be the maximum, I need num of k to be the maximum. Means if I am here at one index, I should know the num of I for this index as maximum as possible from left side. I should know the num of k as maximum as possible from right side, correct? It means that it is building some approach. If you see, I for this index, whenever I am asking, hey, give me the maximum I from the left side, give me the maximum k from the right side, isn't it the some whenever we want to do some like this problem, the things that come into your mind is a prefix and suffix array, correct? Because prefix array will give you the maximum value from left side, and suffix array will give you the maximum value from the right side for each index, correct? Let's try to do this. So given array is here, that is 1, 10, 3, 4 and 19. This is something that we have been given as a input, correct? I will just do the indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my input array. Now let's try to build the prefix array for it. So prefix array would be something like this only. Prefix would be same length would be there for the prefix array. There is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. But prefix will contain the maximum value for each index to its left side. So for example, if I'm here, it will give me the what is the maximum value I have seen so far for this index. So till here only, okay, till here, because I will not include this part till here. So for 0th index it will be nothing, so it will be, I could say, -1 only, because we don't have any maximum value from the right side, because it is a first index only. For first index the maximum value would be the 1, correct, because this is only one value present over there. For second index the maximum value would be the 10 I have seen so far till here. For this index, third index, the maximum value would be again 10 only. For fourth index it will be 10 only, correct. So this is what something prefix array is telling me. Same for suffix array, which will be of the same length, 0 1 2 3 4, and it will be -1 because there is no array, there is no element to the right of it. For this index, correct, for this index, what is the maximum value to its right? 19. So I will just put here the 19. Same for this element, which is the maximum value present to the right, 19. Same for this element, which is maximum value present, 19. And same for this element, which is the maximum value present to its right, is a 19. This is what something suffix array will tell me. So if I am at any index, for example, if I am at second index, then prefix will give me max to its left, and suffix will give me max to its right, and this is what we want, right? So if I'm any index num of j, correct, I want something to be maximum, that is num of I as max as possible, and num of k also as max as possible, that is I want, and I will just take the maximum for each step, whoever giving me the maximum solution. So let's try to make a dry run for it. So for example, I am here now, okay, for example I am at here, that is num of 0. I can't do it, I can't start my iterating from here, because why? Because we don't have the num of I for it, that is any element to its right. So for sure I have to start from j equal to 1, correct. So first scenario, num of j is equal to 1. So for sure I will ask my prefix array, hey, give me the num of my prefix array, I will just ask my prefix array, give me the prefix of 1, because prefix on 1 will tell me max to its left, and suffix of 1 would tell me max to its right, correct. So prefix of 1 is nothing but 1 only, and suffix of 1 is nothing but 19. So I would just say my num of j, that is nothing but 10, so it would be something like this, 1 minus 10 into 19, correct, which will give me some negative value, okay, which is ultimately 0, because I am not considering the negative values, correct. This is what the problem has said me. Now let's try for next, j equal to 2, that is num of 2 equal to, what is given to us, 3. And what is the prefix of 2? Prefix of 2 is nothing but 10, and suffix of 2 is nothing but 19, correct. Sorry, my bad, suffix of 2 is 19. So same thing, that will be prefix of I, that is 2, sorry, not 2, that is a 10 minus 3 into 19. So if you see, this is nothing but 7 into 19, correct. So 7 into 19 would be there, and of course we can do the multiplication, that is 3 6, that will be 133, correct. Okay, makes sense. This is something that we have found. Now let's try for j equal to 3. So I will just say num of j, so that will be prefix of 3, correct. What is the prefix of 3? Prefix of 3 is 10 minus num of 3. Num of 3 is 4, I will just write here, into suffix of 3, that is 19, correct. So this will ultimately give you 6 into 19, which will be so I will just write here 19 into 6, 114, makes sense. Okay, now let's try for j equal to 4. So num of 4, ultimately will be 10 minus, but in this case I will stop. I will not do the for num of j equal to, because why? Because see, this is the last element and it doesn't have any elements to its right. It means I don't have num of k over there, because num of k will ultimately will be the -1. Even if you do it, still it will work. See, num of 4 is a 10. What is prefix of 4? That is a 10 into num of suffix of 4, that is a -1. So ultimately something into -1 will ultimately give me the -1 only. Negative or 0, 10 minus 10, 0 into -1, which ultimately give me the 0 only. So if you see, out of these solutions, that in first num of j equal to 2 I got 0, num of j 1, j equal to 1 I got 0, num j equal to 2 I got 133, j equal to 3 I got 114, j equal to 4 I got 0. So out of this the maximum is a 113, and that is the output for this test case as well. Correct? So this is how you can solve this problem in big of n only. How big of n? We are creating the prefix array suffix array only once, and we are iterating over the nums array from one index to the third index. That is, I am neglecting this index and this index because we don't need it. Even if you add it, still it will your solution will work. But still, to avoid the 2 extra iterations, we can remove those index, and ultimately we will, at every step we will just take the maximum value in any variable. That will give me the solution. So code for this problem is very simple. What I have done, I have taken the length of the input array nums. I have built the prefix and suffix array of the same length, and I am initializing all with num of 0 in prefix and suffix -1, which doesn't matter. Even it doesn't matter, you can initialize with a -1 only, here also and here also, that doesn't matter. Okay, then what I have done, I have built the prefix and suffix array. So prefix of I is nothing but, so far max I have seen till last index or the maximum of the last index. So for example, if my prefix array is like this, 5 6, sorry, my input array is like this, then if I'm here, I'm just asking my prefix array, my prefix array would be something like this, correct? So I'm just asking him whatever I have seen so far, that is a 5 as a maximum, or should I take this? So out of this max is 6, so it will come 6 here, right? This is what I'm doing here. Same for suffix, I'm starting from second last index. I can't start from here because there is no further element, so I will start from here, and I will just take maximum of seen so far, or num of I, this one, and I will put it into here. Then I'm initializing the maximum value, which is my result that I will be returning with 0 only, because we don't want to include the negative value. So eventually, even if this case is giving me negative value, negative, so 0 minus negative will always 0 will be the maximum. So same thing, nothing, I'm just taking maximum of maxval, comma, prefix of I minus num of I, that is num of j only, correct, into suffix of I, and this formula we use here only, correct, here only. This was num of j, this was prefix of I or prefix of j, and this was the suffix of j, and this what we solve here. And of course the time complexity will be the big of n, because we are not using big of n square solution or big of n cube, and space will be the big of n 2n, as we are using the 2 prefix and suffix array, which is ultimately nothing but a big of n. So I hope you got this solution, and this was the optimal solution for this problem, to solve it in big of n only. So see you in the next video. Thank you.